Magandang araw po sa inyo. Welcome po sa isa na namang episode ng online series ni Inang Pamantasan kung saan ang pagkatuto ay walang hangganan. Ito ang PNU Talks. Ako nga pala si Jalyn L. Pecaoco at ako ang inyong Learning from Home buddy sa episode na ito. Ngayong araw ay matututunan natin ang tungkol sa Learning Resource Management and Development System o LRMDS. I-comment ang inyong mga katanungan at mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa ating episode ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-like at i-share ang episode natin. To the future educators who are watching right now, are you aware that public school teachers have this significant educational portal wherein you can access, view, and even download various types of learning resources that are very much helpful in the teaching and learning process. Such materials may either be competency-based activity sheets, storybooks, learning resources, teaching resources, and even professional development materials. So this portal that I'm talking about is the LRMDS or the Learning Resource Management and Development System. So, ang LRMDS po ng Department of Education, para po sa akin bilang isang guro sa isang public school, ay malaki po ang naitutulong, lalong-lalo na po sa paghahanap ng mga teaching resources, at the same time, learning materials po, para po magamit ko po sa delivery ng aking lesson. So, ang LRMDS po ay nakilala ko at talaga pong napamahal na po sa akin sa tulong na rin po ng aming pong mentor sa aming pong division, ang aming pong Education Program Supervisor for LRMDS na walang iba kundi si Sir Raul Dinaga. Marami po siyang naituro po sa akin, lalo-lalo na po when it comes to LRMDS. So, yung mga ideas po at mga learning ko po na natutunan about this LRMDS, yun po yung gusto ko pong i-share sa inyo sa episode po natin ngayon. So, in this learning episode, the following are the objectives. Number 1, to gain understanding on the Learning Resource Management and Development System or LRMDS. 2, acquire knowledge on the mandate of the Learning Resource Management and Development System or LRMDS. 3, familiarize the Learning Resource Management and Development System portal. And finally, appreciate the importance of LRMDS in the curriculum. So what is the mandate of the LRMDS? The LRMDS mandate aims to provide quality learning resources to all teachers and learners of public schools and public learning centers. So as future teachers, do you believe that instructional materials are essential in the teaching and learning process? Yes, of course, because we believe that instructional materials can make our instruction easy, right? Then it can also arouse the interest of our pupils for learning, and we also believe that it can also be a big factor of increasing the academic performance of our children, of our pupils. So LRMDS was collaboratively created by the pilot regions from Region 6, 7, and 8 and by the Central Office. It started in 2007 and ended in 2010 and was funded by the Australian government under the Project Strive. And it was adopted and rolled out nationally in 2011. So this is how LRMDS came to be. So yan po yung history kung bakit meron po tayong LRMDS sa ngayon. So what is LRMDS? The Learning Resource Management and Development System provides the mechanisms to support access to quality teaching and learning resources. Since this is a system, it provides mechanisms, standards, specifications, guidelines, and processes to support access to quality resources. Why quality? Because all the materials in the LRMDS passed through quality assurance. Therefore, all the resources in the portal are quality materials. Adaptive Learning Resource and Development System, fully functioning at the central, region, division, and school levels, effectively developing and distributing adequate and varied learning resources to teachers and learners from both the formal basic education and ALS system. This is the vision, the dream of LRMDS, to have adaptive learning resource system. When we say adaptive system, meaning it is functional, it is adjustable, and it is applicable in different conditions. It can be used in different levels, in different kinds of learners, and in different forms of schooling, whether from a formal school or a non-formal school. So basically, LRMDS has 6 objectives. And let's start from the first objective. Number 1, to strengthen learning resource development and distribution systems, starting from the central office down to the regional office, to the division office, and to the schools. Meaning, the LRMDS is a way for making the system stronger and more effective on the development and distribution of learning and teaching resources. Number 2, improve instructional and learning material system through support for the assessment, acquisition, adaptation, development, production, and distribution of teaching and learning materials to schools. So objective number 2 is all about improving of instructional and learning materials to support the assessment, to support the acquisition, to support the adaptation and other systems for materials to be distributed or to be delivered and eventually to be used in all schools. Now, how about objective number 3? So objective number 3 focuses on digitization. Digitize available student learning materials. What is digitization? So it is about changing or converting one format of a resource to another format. So example, from hard copy to soft copy, or from a non-digital to a digital format. So halimbawa, yung mga textbooks or mga materials na in hard copy, dinid-digitize, ginagawa ng soft copy. So yan po yung digitization. Next, number 4 objective is to enhance provisions of quality instructional and learning materials. Ano naman yung number 4? This is about improving the provision, the establishment, or even the delivery of resources or materials to our learners. At the same time, to our teachers. Let's proceed to number 5 objective, which is to modify and enhance instructional and learning materials for implementing alternative delivery modes and alternative learning systems. So objective number 5 is all about improving or making changes to some parts of the resources in order to suit to the condition or needs of our learners for the implementation of ADMs or alternative delivery modes and ALS or alternative learning system. What are examples of ADMs or alternative delivery modes or flexible learning option? So ADMs are flexible learning options, example of which are multi-grade teaching, or we also have the MISOSA or modified in-school, out-school approach. We also have effective alternative secondary education or the EASE, and we also have the night class. So those are examples of ADMs. Number 6 objective, to improve development and utilization of quality assurance, including monitoring and evaluation systems. So number 6 means the development and utilization of quality assurance system, including the monitoring and evaluation, must be improved to see that all materials published in the portal and used in the schools are of quality. So, hindi po basta-basta yung mga materials na nakukuha sa LRMDS. Those materials are really quality assured materials. This is the example of a resource made or developed by a teacher, and some of the objectives of LRMDS were applied in this resource, like the enhancement, the modification, and digitization. So as you can see from the black and white material, it was improved or enhanced through colors, and it was also transferred or print from different sizes such as A3 and A4 sizes. Then it was converted into a Word file and PDF file, and later on a PowerPoint presentation of the material was also made. So therefore, one material can be developed and made into different formats and files for easy delivery of instructions. So at this time, let us discuss the Learning Resource Management and Development Processes, or the LRMD processes. So since LRMDS is a system, it has 5 another subsystems. And what are these 5 subsystems? So we have the assessment of LR needs, the design and development, quality assurance, publication and delivery, storage, and maintenance. So, i-discuss po natin ito, yung mga processes na ito, one by one. So, let's discuss the first process, which is the assessment of LR needs. So, the LR needs assessment process supports all levels of governance in determining learning, teaching, and professional development resource needs, reviewing and recommending resources for acquisition and procurement, identifying existing resources for reproduction and or redevelopment, and evaluating teacher-developed materials for local use and shared distribution via the Learning Resource Portal. So basically, yung nangyayari po sa assessment of LR needs, dito po nag-start kung ano ba yung mga learning resources na needed ng schools, ano ba yung existing na, at ano ba yung mga learning resources na nakailangan ng i-redevelop. So once identified na po yung lahat ng mga LR needs, dito na po papasok yung second process natin, which is the design and development. So during the design and development process, here in this process, it refers to the processes involved in defining standards, guidelines, and conventions in the creation and production of the learning resources. It is intended to increase availability and access to learning, teaching, and professional development resources of schools, divisions, and regions in response to the local needs. It supports effective and efficient teaching and learning outcomes through contextualization, modification, redevelopment, and development of the learning resources. So, halimbawa, na-determine na po lahat ng mga learning resources na kailangan ng isang schools. So, upon knowing po ng mga resources na kailangan ng school, magde-design na po at magde-develop na po ng mga learning resources na sasagot sa need ng school. So, dito na po, ito po yung process ng design and development. So, papasok po si contextualization, si modification, si redevelopment. And if wala po talagang materials na available na nakita doon sa LR needs, magde-develop po yung mga teachers ng material na kailangan nila. So now, nandito na po tayo sa third learning resource management development process, which is the quality assurance. So what is quality assurance? So quality assurance is a sub-process where the learning resources are evaluated by selected content experts or specialists who are not part of the development team to ensure compliance of learning resources to DepEd standards and requirements. So the conduct of quality assurance ensures that all text-based learning resources underwent and passed a series of evaluation, review, and revision prior to approval, uploading, and publication at the DepEd Learning Resource Portal, and reproduction and utilization of the learning resource in public schools. So the main principle underlying the quality assurance process is to ensure that they are user-centered, needs-responsive, and based on DepEd standards and requirements. So, all learning resources that were developed and redeveloped, talaga pong kailangan siyang equality assure kasi nga, lahat po ng materials na makikita sa LRMDS portal are quality assured materials. So here po, lahat ng materials ay talagang ini-evaluate, chine-check, nire-review, nire-revise, na wala pong errors, walang mga misinformation na makukuha. So, chine-check po lahat bago po siya i-approve, bago po siya i-upload, and i-publish sa ating LR portal. So, this is what happens in this process, the quality assurance. Now, after po ng process na ito, dito na po mangyayari yung production and delivery. So, what happens in the production and delivery? So, production is a process of printing, binding, and packing of physical copies of learning resources, while delivery refers to the distribution of learning resources on-site and online for digital copies. So, existing resources identified via the LR plan, the DEDP or REDP, and targeted for supporting increased access via LRMDS will be reproduced for utilization. So, any resource that has been digitally produced, new or modified existing resources, and is to be distributed and accessed directly from the LRMDC and LRMDS portal is required to be packaged in accordance with LRMDS production and delivery specifications and standards. So, kahit po yung production and delivery, meron po talagang sinusunod na standards and processes. Kasi nga, yung nasabi ko na kanina, lahat po ng materials na makukuha sa LRMDS are all quality materials. And the last process po sa ating LRMD ay ang storage and maintenance. So, ano naman pong nangyayari sa storage and maintenance? So, this is about preservation process, particularly storage and maintenance of text-based, digital, and non-text-based learning resources. It is designed to ensure ongoing and sustainable access to quality learning, teaching, and professional development resources via the LRMDS. So, the system comprises, we have 3, the online catalog of all quality assured resources that are stored in the LRMDS repository, available from online sites, and locates hard copies of resources stored at regions, divisions, and or schools or cluster levels. Then, the content, maintenance, and review schedules and processes to ensure ongoing technical and educational fit for purpose. And lastly, archiving of learners' resources. So, yan naman po yung nagaganap sa ating storage and maintenance. So, again, yung ating pong LRMD processes ay meron po tayong 5 systems. Again, number 1, we have the assessment of LR needs, followed by the design and development, the quality assurance process, publication and delivery, and lastly, the storage and maintenance. So, yan po yung ating LRMD processes. Now, what are the different nature of our LRMDS resources? So, we have these different types. We have the so-called LR or learning resources, the TR or the teaching resources, and PDMs, the professional development materials. So, ano-ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mga ito? At the same time, we also have resource formats. It could either be in a non-digital format or digital format. So, very timely po ngayon as of now, marami na pong gumagamit sa atin ng digital format. So, sa nasabi ko na kanina, we have 3 types of resources, and one of which is learning resources or the LR. So, learning resources refers to any digital or non-digital educational resource with a learning purpose. These resources are designed to be used directly by the student or the learner. So, yung pag sinabi pong LR, lahat po ng mga pwedeng magamit ng ating mga learners or ng ating mga estudyante. On the other hand, we have teaching resources or TR. These are any educational resource either in digital or non-digital format that supports teachers in curriculum development, delivery, and pedagogy. Ito naman yung mga types of resources na kailangan ni teacher sa pag-deliver ng kanyang lesson. So, pwede din nila itong makuha sa ating LRMDS portal. So, our teaching resources. And the last one is the PDMs or Professional Development Materials. Ano po ba yung tinatawag na PDMs? So, PDMs are any digital or non-digital education training and development resource or program designed with a training and development purpose. So, para naman po ito sa mga kailangan ni teacher to improve his or herself, no? Professional development ng mga teachers. So meron din pwedeng makuha doon sa ating LRMDS portal. Pwedeng digital or non-digital na format. So, ayun po, pwede nyo pong makuha yun lahat sa ating portal. Now, let's go to the resource formats. So again, as what I have said, it could either be digital or non-digital. When we say non-digital, it can be in print format, charts, posters, manipulatives, or offline digital. We have the CD or the DVD. Then for the digital format, so we have the images, the videos, the text, the audio, animation, or any combination of this. So, yan po ay mga example lamang ng mga digital formats. So, usually digital, when we say digital, it is using or characterized by computer technology. So, ayan po yung mga examples niya. So, what is now the scope of LRMDS? So, when we say scope, it refers to the coverage or the range of LRMDS. So, LRMDS is a clearinghouse. Clearinghouse of what? Clearinghouse of materials in the LR portal. In the region, in the division, and school LRMDS. So, yan po yung scope ng ating LRMDS. And what does LRMDS do? So, LRMDS serves as a clearinghouse because it provides information on the location of all resources with different formats. So, as what I have said kanina, marami po tayong types of formats. So, whether physical copies like textbooks, training manuals, lesson guides, CDs, charts, or maps, and the like. So, yan po. And then, LRMDS also provides information on quantity, at the same time quality, and location of textbooks and supplementary materials. It also provides access to learning, teaching, and professional development materials in digital format and locate resources in print format and hard copy. At the same time, it also provides standards, specifications, and guidelines of materials. So, ito po, this is how the LRMDS portal looks like. Open po kayo ng inyong napiling browser, then type niyo po sa address bar www.lrmds.deped.gov.ph, and ito po yung lalabas sa inyong screen. So, and then po, yan po, mag-sign in po kayo using yung na-register na inyong email address at saka yung password. So, for us po sa DepEd, yung ginagamit po namin is our DepEd email tsaka yung aming password. So, ito po yung isang malaking bagay na talaga pong very helpful po sa aming mga guro, sa aming mga teachers sa DepEd. Kasi po marami po kaming nakukuhang mga materials dito na nakatutulong po sa pag-deliver ng aming lesson sa aming mga learners. Then, ito po yung lalabas sa inyong screen kapag po nakapag-login na kayo sa LRMDS portal. So, ayan po, makikita nyo. You can view different types of learning resources that you wish to download, starting from kindergarten level to senior high school, that you think is very much helpful in your lesson, in the delivery of your lesson. So, ayan po yung mga examples na kung ano po yung makikita nyo sa ating LRMDS portal. At the same time, an LR portal guide is also present in our LRMDS site to provide instructions on how to navigate and find the resources that you intend to have. So, ayan po. So, in summary, the LRMDS will provide standards, specifications, and guidelines for assessing, designing, redevelopment, and development, acquiring and harvesting, storage, retrieval, and distribution, delivery of learning resources. At the same time, it also provides information on the quantity and quality and location of textbooks and supplementary materials. And it also provides access to resources in analog or digital formats and locate resources in print, hard copy, or human resource formats. So, ayan po yung kabuuan kung ano po ba yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na LRMDS portal. So, that is our episode for today. Allow me to end my presentation with this saying by Charles Jennings. If learning material is designed to be highly relevant and delivered in context, then it is likely to be useful. Thank you very much po. At sa muli, ako po si Jalyn L. Pecaoco at sumasa inyo ang PNU Talk.